Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thank you for watching us tonight. John Edwards and his anti-Christian employees, that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. Literally within minutes of our report on the factor last night, Amanda Marcotte, a viciously anti-Christian blogger, left the John Edwards campaign, and today her partner in crime, Melissa McEwen, was shown the door as well. Both women consistently delivered hate-filled diatribes on their internet sites, and Senator Edwards was foolish to hire them in the first place. But the reason Edwards has pretty much taken himself out of the race for the Democratic presidential nomination is his arrogance. Even after the Catholic League pointed out to Edwards that his employees were attacking Christianity in the most offensive ways, using sexual images of Mary, the mother of Jesus, for example. Even after that, Edwards refused to take action. It was only after critical mass was reached and millions of people around the world actually saw what these women were putting on the net that Edwards came to his senses. But it's too late. It's ironic that a joke gone wrong about U.S. troops in Iraq sunk Edwards' running mate, John Kerry. But that was not nearly as bad as the Edwards Christian situation. And Kerry, to his credit, recognized his mistake. Edwards remains defiant. America needs leadership that is fair to all its people. Everyone knows that Edwards or any other politician would never employ an anti-Semite, a Klan member, or an anti-Muslim bigot, or a homophobe. But Edwards had no problem standing by two anti-Christian women even after he saw the vile things they had written. John Edwards will test the waters in Iowa, and he may do okay in that small vote, but he will not go much further. Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama are strong candidates and are smarter than Edwards. Talking Points doesn't feel good about the demise of John Edwards, but we did everything possible to hear his side of the story, to extend to him the benefit of any doubt. For our trouble, he gave us the middle digit. So now we all know about Senator Edwards. And as always, the folks will decide. And that's a memo. Now for the top story tonight, reaction to the situation. Joining us from Washington, Jane Fleming, the executive director of the Young Democrats of America. Okay. So what do you think here, Jane?
Well, I think Edwards really showed his leadership when he handled this situation. He did not have a knee-jerk reaction when the extremist Bill Donahue really went after him. And let's be honest, Donahue is standing alone on this. There are no other Catholic groups that are standing with him. Edwards waited until he got back to his campaign, spoke to the two women, and then he made his decision.
No, he didn't. That's
very
not
clear.
True. He didn't make his decision until after we announced we were going to do this story.
That's
and
untrue,
he knew.
Bill.
Yes, it is.
As soon as he got back to campaign headquarters.
We promoted this story all weekend long and told him Friday it was going to be on Monday. And minutes before airtime, he made the decision. That's the truth, Ms. Fleming. That is what happened.
And the two women have resigned. That is correct. They've both decided after getting lots of hateful emails and threats.
Oh, I see. So they're victims now. They're victims, aren't they?
That's not what I'm saying. They need to take responsibility for their writings, as all bloggers and as all journalists do.
That's correct.
But let's talk about Donahue. He makes about $2 to $3 million a year on getting on air and talking about these extreme things. Again, standing alone. No other religious group or activist is standing with him.
Well, maybe that's to his credit. Listen, I'm not going to. I don't want to get into a debate about the head of the Catholic League. He brought this to the attention. He brought this to the attention of John Edwards. John Edwards said, quote, well, I can't quote him, but John Edwards said, I don't agree with these women, but I'm not going to fire them. He only fired them when we got involved. Now, let me ask you this question. Do you approve of these women? Do you, Jane Fleming, approve of these women working for John Edwards? Yes or no?
When I heard what they had written about the Virgin Mary as a Catholic, it definitely took me aback a little bit.
All right, so I'm saying that's a no. You do not approve of them working for John Edwards.
I didn't approve of what they wrote. Now, I approve that John Edwards...
Jane, this is a simple question. Do you approve of them working for John Edwards? If you were in charge of the Edwards campaign, would you have fired them?
I would have probably talked with them and had serious talks with them about what's best for the campaign.
You're dodging.
I'm not dodging
Yes, it's a yes or no. Would you have fired them or not based upon what they wrote in the past? Yes or no?
No, I would have stood by them.
Okay, you wouldn't have fired them. Would you have fired someone who said anti-black things in the past?
Yes.
Would you have fired someone who said anti-gay things in the past?
You know, this is the
yes
thing
or
with
no?
bloggers. No, Bill,
yes or no?
Let's have a dialogue about this.
No,
because
no.
It's okay
Here's
for
the deal. You just said you would fire somebody who said you would fire somebody who said anti-black things in the past.
I clearly understand what you're doing. That it's okay to be anti-Semitic or anti-gay.
And that's the double standard that you guys on the left have to deal with.
That's not what we're saying. What I'm saying, and Donahue, first of all, is anti-Semitic, so it's okay
Oh,
for
he
him
is not,
to be...
and that's a slur, and knock it off. He's not here to defend himself. Knock it off. Keep it on this.
No, I won't.
Well, you will, or you're not going to be on the program anymore.
He is hypocritical, and you're being hypocritical on this issue.
Oh, baloney, I'm being hypocritical.
If you're going to attack
these women attacked Christianity and Catholicism, and you know it. Yet you come on this broadcast, Jane, and you say you would not have fired them, but you would fire somebody who did an anti-black diatribe. That's hypocritical, not me. I'm holding John Edwards accountable for who he hires. That's what I'm doing. And you know what?
I want you to hold John McCain accountable.
He's done.
He has also hired a blogger.
You don't justify bad behavior by pointing to other bad behavior. That's a cheap rhetorical
attack a Democrat,
trick.
But you can't attack a Republican. If you're fair and balanced, and if you're not going to have, if you're going to have
John McCain or any other Republican hires somebody who does stuff like this, I'm on it.
You know what he's hired? He's hired a senior staff person who's involved in 3 Republican scandals: delay fundraising scandal, phone jamming in New Hampshire.
We'll take a look at it, but it doesn't rise to this. Jane, you know, I'll tell you what. You need to take a deep breath and think about this. John Edwards has now eliminated himself as a serious candidate. He won't be able to raise any money, and he'll be out of the race early. You know it, and I know it. And the reason is because this kind of hatred, whether it's directed against blacks or Jews or Muslims or gays or Christians, is not tolerable to the American people.
Edwards shows his leadership on this.
Truth.
Bill Donahue's the one that's racist.
All right, Bill Donahue. Jane, thanks very much.